What's up guys, so in this video we're going to be going over the best Amazon business models for specific people. For example, some of the ones we're going to be going over today is Amazon dropshipping, Amazon private label, Amazon wholesale, and Amazon arbitrage, both retail and online. So each of these models is unique because there's a different fulfillment and sourcing process for each one. For example, with dropshipping, you're listing items on Amazon that you're planning on ordering after they're already sold by the customer. So it's all name brand stuff and it's all listings that are already existing on Amazon. And what you're doing is you're looking for listings that possibly sell that you could source from somewhere else, and you're just going to ship it from that source to the customer once it sells. With this, there's not a lot of upfront costs involved. However, it is mostly against Amazon terms of service because a lot of people drop ship from suppliers like Walmart, Target, and all these ones that are retail suppliers, and Amazon terms of service will pop it up on the screen. It basically explicitly says that you can't send items from other retailers. Generally, drop shipping is okay, but it has to be from like a third-party supplier that will ship the item with your company's invoice in the box rather than the Walmart box or Target box with that pricing involved. This used to be something that was very feasible in how we started. However, right now, or at this point, years later, it's very risky and Amazon tends to deactivate accounts all the time. So it's not worth it to use this model anymore because there's so much risk involved and you're putting your business on the line. So the next model we're gonna be going over is Amazon FBA private label. This is where you source goods from overseas, like from sites like Alibaba and AliExpress. With this model, your goal is to build out a brand on Amazon. So you're looking for products that are selling, however, they're all branded by different companies, and you're looking to create your own brand, build out your own listings, and pick a product that's selling. First, you have to manufacture an item, bring it into the States, list it onto Amazon, build out that listing, then run keywords, traffic, and PPC campaigns to then test if your item will sell. So with this, there's a lot more risk involved because you have to spend a couple hundred to $1,000 on inventory, some money on ads, some money on the infrastructure before you can even see if the item will do well. Even though you can do research, it's like more of an extensive process, especially if you're sourcing from China, because that could take a month alone, if not more at this point, to get your product and have it into Amazon. So with this, you could have $2,000 or $3,000 invested into one item or a couple of products before you even get it listed on Amazon, and you won't really know whether or not it's gonna sell until you actually run traffic to the listing. So this one, I don't think is a bad model. However, if you're a beginner, it's kind of hard to succeed off the bat, in my opinion, because you don't really know about the platform. So your research is going to be skewed, and I think once you kind of dive into the other models we're going to talk about, it would be a good thing to invest in a private label brand for the long term because you could sell one of these if it is successful. However, it's not, I wouldn't say it's as beginner friendly as everybody makes it seem. So the next model we're going to talk about is both retail and online arbitrage. This is where you're looking on retailer sites or retailers in store like Nike, Adidas, Target, Walmart, TJ Maxx, all stores like that, where you're looking for items that you can find there, source, and then send into Amazon to sell for a profit. What you're looking at is basically what items you can find that you can sell for more and have a good sales rank. With retail arbitrage, it's not really the best model because you're basically at the whim of what's in the stores that you're going to, so you have to spend a lot of time going to different places, seeing what they have, checking out, and you can only really do as much as you can get to in a day or as much time you have. Compared to at least with online, you could source quicker online. You already save the travel time and the cost of doing that. Both retail and online arbitrage are beginner friendly. As long as you could source items and list them on Amazon for a profit, as long as you look at the sales rank, you won't really lose on too many items. And even if you do lose, you're not gonna just not sell them. Eventually they will sell. And if you wanna get your money back quicker, you could drop the price a little bit to where maybe you break even or lose a couple dollars to get your money back. So the risk involved is really not that high, which is why I think they're good for people who are just starting out. Especially with online arbitrage, you can scale it because you can order a lot of things online and you hire a VA or train a team member to learn how to order online as well and really build out a catalog quickly. So the last model we're gonna go over is wholesale. So compared to online arbitrage and retail arbitrage, wholesale is gonna be a little bit more of a sustainable model. Once you start building out relationships with wholesale suppliers, you'll be able to order the same products over and over again, as well as add new SKUs as they get more. And when you develop a relationship with your sales rep and that company, as you do more business with them, you'll end up getting better rates, better products. So over time, this business model gets better. However, it's definitely for somebody that has a little bit more money, as a lot of these wholesalers require you to have cash or / be able to wire for the first orders. Eventually, you will be able to use credit cards, although they will make you pay the fee. But with this model, more capital allows you to scale further because you're not worried about minimum order quantities. You're worried about finding the most amount of goods you can from each good supplier. It will take you also more time to end up building relationships with these suppliers, and sometimes you'll have to place orders for not so much profit in order to just get your foot in the door. However, over time, you'll be able to build out a much more sustainable model with this compared to everything else we've listed. So in general, to wrap it up, when you're first starting out, I think a mixture of retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is great to get your feet wet and get started with the business, as well as if you don't have that much capital to allocate to this. And then as you become more in depth with the business, I would definitely recommend transitioning into wholesale when you have more money and more experience, where you're willing to go deeper on SKUs and also more buying power. And then eventually, as you're established, I think circling back to private label is definitely something that you should do, because it is a really good way to build out a brand that has value and eventually something that you might be able to sell. But at the beginning, it's definitely something that's really hard to start as a brand new beginner. And I think with more capital, that will allow you to do better and succeed at your brand, because you won't be worried about eating off of it, and you could actually spend time to nurture it and build it. That wraps it up for today's video. Thank you guys for your business.